Actualtruth saying, hey man, I kind of talk to y'all about isolation, bro. I want people to understand, man, that you get so much growth in isolation, bro. Like, you know, when you around people and shit and you get to talking to motherfuckers and you get to just having conversations with your boys or your homies or your homegirls, whatever the fuck you want to call it, you know, man, you reminiscing and you bringing your shit on everybody else instead of being in isolation, dealing with your own shit. Understand, isolation creates growth because you got to look in the mirror and start dealing with what matters now. You gotta really start putting everything in one perspective and dealing with your mind as it goes on, bro. See, motherfuckers don't really understand that, bro. See, this shit really comes with a lot of progression. This is how you progress. This is how you fulfill your dreams. This is how you meditate. This is how you work with your mentality. You pick your brain and start understanding where your decisions or where you went wrong at. You start rebuilding your life at the end of the day. You feel me? Isolation create a lot of opportunities, you know, create a lot of opportunities for yourself, the next person, and how you engage with people. You feel me? Because, you know, a lot of our traumas come from us, bro. And sometimes we be so we so dead to the world, but we want to be around certain motherfuckers that agree with what we got going on versus actually checking us on our own decisions. Like that's why I tell fellas, bro, you need a woman, bro, that's going to check you where you can isolate yourself and get your shit together, bro. Y'all can have a conversation and y'all can talk about the shit too. And fellas, you need a woman. Like, ladies, you need a man that can literally do the same shit for you. Like, to where when you agree, when you can honestly agree and say you wrong and you can admit to your situations, ladies, you need a man like that to where you can check you and tell you, like, yeah, you was kind of wrong for that situation. You may want to reset that. Now you need to isolate yourself and get your mind back in the right formation. See, isolation comes with just you trying to understand yourself again and trying to be great at what you do, and also trying to look at others as, stop looking at others as a pawn and start looking at others as that they matter. Isolation puts you in a better headspace, you feel me? You start to become a greater version of yourself. You start to see things that matter. You start to be around your family and start understanding all that other shit don't matter, but the motherfuckers that's in the room with you honestly matters. Your headspace start to grow. You start to get out of that dysfunctional ass mind, that the destructive ass mind, and just all that shit that's going on in your life. You start to put it to the side because you start understanding where your headspace is at, where you trying to go. Ain't nobody else a part of that journey but you. You start to really see the positives and shit, you feel me? You may have a dream you want to chase, but you can never get to that dream because your mind is so clouded with all these goddamn thoughts in your head, and you never really sat down and try to bond with yourself. That's the whole point of isolation, bonding with you. Just bonding with you, bro. Like, I'm always isolated, bro. I love being alone sometimes, bro, but like, I ain't gonna say sometimes, majority of the time, but like when I'm with, like if I'm with my woman or anybody else like that I honestly fuck with, that actually have good energy, I love being around that too. But most of the time, bro, when you a loner and that's how you be, you kind of by yourself all the time, to where you be in a closed room where you think a lot, you feel me? You don't like being around everybody because everybody doesn't provide the same energy that you provide. And that's necessarily not a bad thing. It's just that you growing over people and people are still in the same situation. You trying to get out of chaos and people envying you, and you trying to get out of all that shit, chaos and envy, and trying to meditate and get to your isolation phase where you can grow spiritually, you can grow mentally, you can grow physically, you can grow verbally too. You try to fix that shit up about yourself instead of being around people who are still in them same totem poles, and that, because that shit will never help you. It will never help you. You being around shit that's not helping you. It won't help you grow. It won't help you see things from a different light. You got to understand, you are you for a reason. You are presented as the man that you present yourself right then and there. That's how this shit works. You are presented as the man that you present yourself is. You feel me? Regardless of the fact, always remember, keep a good head on your shoulders, bro. Pain is going to be pain, but you got to find a way to go through the shit swiftly as you can. Every little situation that happened to you don't need a reaction. And you got to also remember, bro, you got people counting on you, man. You got people every day counting on you, man. Sometimes, bro, you walking away from family or anybody can be a best judgment for you, bro, because you have to figure out who you are as an individual. You're not responsible for who else. Like, your peace matter too, man. Don't ever let nobody tell you that your peace matter too. Sometimes you may have to walk away from shit, walk away from friends, families, girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes you got to walk away from that if they're not providing peace in your life, or if they're not doing what they supposed to do as the individual that's in your life. You don't need it, man. That's why sometimes you got to find isolation. Isolation is also standing in your truth of who you are and what you believe in, and where you're trying to go. That's what isolation is. At the end of the day, man, just stay focused on you. Stay blessed by yourself, man. Just think positive. I know you got them days where you think so, you be thinking negative, man. You don't know if this gonna happen, but don't think so hard on them situations, man. Just think about every day how you can grow in your own isolation, how you can fix your own heart, how you can fix your own head, how you can soften yourself up a little bit better. Like, you know, I seen this one guy, which is Mike. I think his name Mike Rashad, and this video, he actually inspired me to make this video. And you know, he said, man, he was talking about his son, and he was like, man, my son doesn't have to respect me because I'm his father. I give my son that respect, and he gives me too, because at the end of the day, he's still a human being. And that's a lot of guys, man. Just because your son is your kid, that don't necessarily mean he have to give you respect. You feel me? You have to give your son that same respect that you will want too. He's still a human being. Same thing as women, man. You got to understand, everybody goes through something. Ladies, if your daughter, just because that's your daughter, that don't mean she have to give you respect. You have to give her that same respect too. Because when you do that, it shows them that they can come to you and have conversations. That's why a lot of kids go through a lot of shit nowadays, because they realize that some of their parents they can't go to because they feel like their parents got enough on their plate. And you don't want your kid to start doing that, because that's when your kids start being all over the place. That's why I tell you, isolation and rebuilding yourself as a parent, rebuilding yourself as a human being, rebuilding yourself as a man, a woman, in life, period, is the best thing for you to do, because you grow. You learn, you observe, you start to be around the right crowd of people. You start to feel that energy is starting to come into your atmosphere, and you start to understand a little bit more. But words for today of encouragement, man, just isolation. Isolation is the word of today. That's the word of today. Just grow spiritually, grow mentally, grow physically. Just deal with your shit at the right manner that you supposed to. Peace. Follow me at Actualtruth_. Follow me at tg.truth. Like, comment, subscribe to Actual Truth. Peace.